I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video we're going to have a look at SolChicks price prediction for 2022, the early days. Nothing in this video is financial advice, it is for entertainment purposes only. We have a lot of red candles on the screen. We have a lot of green candles on the screen, but what does this mean? I don't know, because I can't read charts. I'm kidding. We're actually going to have a look at how the price has moved the last couple of days. Right, it has been almost 3 weeks after the IDO. What's going to happen in January? What is important to note? Will the price crash? Will it pump? Everything you need to know in this video. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It is about to expose some facts. All right, first we look at Bitcoin. Yeah. So the last 7 days there has been a crash, which basically means the market is being pushed down. It is the 31st of January. For most Western world countries, a tax snapshot on capital gains will occur tomorrow, 1st of January, which means that in that case, institutions, big investors, they will keep the price down for the snapshots to pay less tax. Right? You see a lot of NFTs being transferred for low amounts. That's all for tax benefits. What is this to do with SolChicks, right? One thing extremely important to note, which I will include in my price prediction as well, is that the next vesting release, 13th of January, will be a majorly important date, right? We have started SolChicks 13th of December. The 13th of January, the next vesting of the IDO is released, which basically means that most of the current circulating supply is from that IDO plus market liquidity, right? What would that mean is that the market cap would at least go up 15-20 million, right? Increasing the estimated value of the project without the project actually doing anything, which then for the price, which means that people think it's overvalued, they sell, there's no buyers, price dumps. Right? Obviously, is it going to get that far? We'll find out later because I have a sell-off strategy in case that might occur. There are, however, some important updates. So let's head over to the SolChicks website. There are two major updates on the SolChicks websites, of which I am convinced that it might be a good opportunity. The other one, I don't really give a fuck about, which I will show you. On the game demo, there's something called Flappy SolChicks Arcade. I don't know why the team would waste their time to make an arcade game, just focus on the fucking project. But that's just me, right? It's not even loading for me, maybe because I have my ad blocker on. Now you need to connect your wallet, which I didn't want to do. So this is some kind of arcade game you can play. I don't know why they would waste their time making an arcade game, just focus on your project. The good news, however, as we always need to highlight the good news, we gotta stay positive, is the SolChicks third wave NFT mint, which is going to happen on Binance. Thank fuck. Right? Ooh, I shouldn't swear that much. People told me in the comments, Colin, don't swear that much, it doesn't suit you. I hear you. No swearing. SolChicks fucking third NFT mint exclusively on Binance. Dear SolChicks family, the wait is over. It is with great pride that we announce Binance NFT as our exclusive partner for upcoming third and final wave of the Genesis SolChicks NFT mint. To be held on the 11th of January 2022, Binance NFT is a leading platform for minting and trading of NFTs and is brought to you by the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance. They do leverage that. Users will be able to mint a ticket on Binance NFT via their website that can then be submitted via the SolChicks website to participate in the Wave 3 SolChicks airdrop event. We will also be working with Binance to launch our equipment NFTs at a later date. Stay tuned for more details. So this part is great. Why? And I'm looking at this not from a player point of view. I'm looking at this from an investor point of view. I don't really care about the game at all at this point. Binance, huge name, biggest exchange. Don't get it twisted. They are not going to list their token, in my opinion, on Binance. That's just not going to happen. However, getting access to Binance NFT also doesn't mean that they have now easier access to the token side of things, because it doesn't. It does, however, provide the NFT to a large audience, right? Which is very important. You see other games like Sin City utilize that platform as well to get more reach. If you get more reach, you get more eyeballs on your project, more attention, and potentially the price goes up, right? That's how it goes, supply, demand. What this means, user will be able to mint a ticket on Binance NFT via their website and then can be submitted to participate in a Wave 3 SolChick airdrop event, which basically means you buy a ticket, then you submit the ticket and they airdrop you your chicks, but you don't know which one you're going to get. That's what I assume. As soon as they airdrop them, it reveals the rarity, which I think is a little weird, but they probably do that because the NFTs are on the Solana blockchain. The Binance NFTs are on the Binance Smart Chain, unless they're going to make a bridge between the Binance Smart Chain NFTs and the Solana NFTs, right? If it's on the Solana blockchain, how much are these going to cost? Well, I can tell you, right? We're going to go to features, game features, mint privileges, Wave 3 minting 5 Solana. Then we look at the Solana price on this current dip. The price would come down to $175. They'll probably stabilize at $200, basically charging you 1,000 BUSD for an NFT, which I think is reasonable compared to the current price of SolChicks, which should be like about 7 Solana, which is above 7 Solana, the floor. Right, based on your rarity, you have good potential of making some decent money there if it's truly still 5 Solana. And we know the SolChicks team, they might change things last minute, right? Nothing to worry about. However, the Wave 1 and Wave 2 airdrops should then also start, or at least information for that should arrive. With the Wave 3, obviously, you have the last opportunity for the Genesis NFTs. Thereafter, they might release more NFTs, but they do not have the perks of the Genesis NFTs. As I got confirmed on Discord, they're actually not going to release more NFTs. They're just going to, for the game, approve the lending system and then the breeding system. So where people who can't, you need the NFT to play and they just lend the NFT, which is great because I have many. Right, and then people can play it, and the holder of the NFT gets like I think half the income, something like that, of what is being earned. So that's quite cool of a passive income ID. So with Binance, they get a lot more reach. Will it do anything for the price itself of the coin? Unlikely. Will it do something for the price of the NFTs? One thing is that there are right now 5,000 NFTs in circulation with a total 2 mints completed, right? 2 mints completed. Now there will be an additional 5,000 which will flood the market, have an average price of 5 Solana, which means that the price will tank of these NFTs, right? What you usually see after an NFT mint is that within a week they sell below bid floor mint price. So that's like 5 Solana is very common, unless you have like a rare. But people looking for the quick flips, they will, unless they market at floor price, 7 Solana. I think it's highly to be expected that when this occurs, which is when? 11th of January, so 2 days before the actual vesting release, which obviously is timed perfectly, they would generate these NFTs, which basically then pulls down this floor, in my opinion, I foresee. And there will be less value on these actual NFTs until the breeding lending goes active, because there's no utility for these NFTs until that point, which is extremely important for an NFT, as we have learned on this channel. If you didn't know that, hit that subscribe button so you can learn something. When we look at the actual price, right? One thing that would be amazing, and I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna stay positive because I still hold all of my SolChicks tokens, which is a lot. If they would do the 11th, the Binance NFT, the 12th, a Binance listing, and the 13th, they take the hit of that vesting release by a price spike because it got listed on Binance. Which ways could it get listed on potentially? So right now it's on Maxi, right? And this is Bird Eye for Radium, which is the DEX. If we look at the 24-hour volume, it's a fucking joke. Ooh, I shouldn't swear. Here we go again. It's a habit, guys. I'm a rude person. All right, so the 24-hour volume is $800,000, right? $800,000 for a project with a 24 million market cap is a joke, right? It's like the lowest volume I think I have seen so far. I've been covering the Magic Craft game quite a bit, which is on a different chain, but still it's like kind of the same market cap, 25 million, and it's like 20 million volume, 24-hour volume, which is even down 25% after its initial run. Even when it didn't pump, it was still at 2 million, right, when it was extremely undervalued. SolChicks can't even reach that, which is like a disaster. It's a bad indicator for the project. And I'm just trying to be real and transparent, because obviously I don't like this much more than you do. So in the ultimate scenario, they could get listed on Binance, could get listed on the KuCoin, but so far it's just Maxi and Bird Eye. Would it be a good moment 3 weeks after the mint token listing, TGE, to get a centralized exchange? Yes, everybody's craving the centralized exchange, but I think if they would go with like Bitmart or something, Bybit, it will not increase the price exponentially. If we look at the price targets, right, where the big sell-offs are, I'm going to put that to like, let's say 0.01. We can see there's like only, well, even on 0.14, there's already 47K, 83K, and there's quite a lot of pressure for the price to even go to like 25 cents on Maxi, right? Because we're talking, well, I don't know, I'm just eyeballing it right now, but maybe 500,000, 600,000. That's almost more than the entire daily volume. There's a huge resistance here at 0.34, right? So let's say 0.50, because that's what we all dream about. So the resistance actually being held above 0.5. But to do a 10x, it would need to like 20x its daily volume on one exchange alone. And then most of the volume does take place on Radium and not Maxi, right? So Maxi is a joke, as I said at the complete beginning, right? So on Radium, basically the same price action, right? These are because the arbitrage companies take care of that. There was a huge sell-off here, bang. The thing is with these, let me put it on in 5 minutes. The thing is, with these actual exchanges, right, which you have to understand, is that the SolChicks team raised a lot of money. They raised, I think, 30 million that they have cash. They could just buy the listing, right? I think the KuCoin listing is like $3 million, something like that. And then you don't need any volume requirements, no additional requirements. Binance, I think, is a little bit more, like 5 million or something, or 3 million, and KuCoin is like 1 million. There are opportunities, if you do not meet the requirements, you want to get listed because you want to get the word out there, to just buy it off, right? Which I don't think is a smart idea. However, the volume is not going to increase. When we look at the exchanges, if they keep it like this, the price is gonna fucking die. Right, people are impatient, paper hands lose their patience. I'm like impressed how many paper hands or how many inexperienced investors are still holding this token after disastrous performance. If we look at like things like Bittrex and stuff, what I just talked shit about, basically Upbit, you know, they have $2 billion volume. It would not be the best exchange, but these exchanges will add massive volume. OKEX. Everybody wants Binance, KuCoin, right? But KuCoin only has 2.2 billion volume, so it's not more significant. Yes, Binance is extremely significant, obviously, but Gate would be 1.3 billion, would be huge, right? But there has to be like a consistent addition of new exchanges. If we look at something like Monkey Ball, that was listed like recently, right? Like I think a week ago, something like this. They got FTX, Radium, they got five exchanges, and then you got SolChicks, who have like 3 times the amount of time, only 2 exchanges. They got 2.6 million in volume with a $47 million market cap. A little overvalued in my opinion, but that's like a different story. Then we got like Cryo War, right, which is also on the Solana blockchain, and this is also a Solana game. Markets, KuCoin, Gate, Bybit. And what happens with these projects? They have more volume, 4.4 million, well 4.1 million, just took a dive, 81 million market cap. This project has done quite well for itself right now because of the Bitcoin is slowing down, but still it is extremely up from its IDO, right? Which is, I think, super important to take into consideration. Not because we only want to dump, right? I'm talking right now from an investment point of view. Yes, I want to get rid of my tokens, I want to take profit because I have so much more left, so many tokens left to receive when the vesting is being released. So that obviously really means that I gotta take profit at some point, which I would be focused on. Probably I'm considering like 0.15 at this point, because let us talk about the partnership first. So they're doing a strategic partnership with Altura, which through the grapevine I had already been told last week. We're excited to announce a partnership with Altura, a Binance Smart NFT marketplace for buying and selling NFTs. Of course, that makes sense because the third minting is on Binance. 1 + 1 is 2. Well, in SolChicks case, maybe -1, but in Altura makes sense, right? So Altura's combined market cap exceeding 88 million of smart NFTs in its ecosystem. Smart NFTs are NFTs with dynamic properties that have variable features depending on conditions, blah, 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 blah. SolChicks NFTs will be available at Altura's marketplace, and with the leveraging of Altura's smart contract technology into the Soulchicks metaverse, we are confident in offering the Soulchicks community the next generation of smart NFTs. So the question is, what are they going to do with the Solana NFTs? Right now they're talking about the new ones. Are they going to bridge it? There's no information there. So although I appreciate this partnership, because I'm a huge fan of Altura, right? I hold a lot of Altura. Altura I have spoken about many times on this channel. I really like the Altura NFT platform. I think it will have huge potential if they fix some major bottlenecks, which they have time. However, there's again not the information the user are looking for. This is just a partnership announcement, which I understand, but there's no elaboration on the current NFTs, which I think is extremely important because anybody interested in the old NFTs or whom is holding them would have these questions. But anyway, good progressive move. I would say this is even a better announcement in my opinion, as well as the Binance announcement relative to the fucking play to earn sponsorship team announcement that they had before. So at least we're making some steps, right? This is also a very good announcement 2 days ago. They are lining it up, right? Some things are happening, some things are moving. Now the question is, we have talked a lot of shit so far. Where is this going? For me, it's quite simple. Yeah, quite simple. It's not that difficult. 13th of January is my cutoff date, which means that if no centralized exchange is announced before the 13th, I will dump my 1/4, like about $30,000, $35,000 of SolChicks tokens on the fucking market and probably crash the course a little bit, right? If I dump, I will not dump it all at once, obviously, but I will sell it off like probably at the latest the 12th. The 12th, right? I'm not gonna wait for the 13th. I'm gonna wait until the 12th. If nothing's happened, I'm not gonna wait for that vesting to be released. I'm not willing to take that risk because then I get another, I think it's like 10, 15K worth of tokens that day. And I assume that when we look at this chart, at the 15-minute pattern, right? I think I foresee this pattern on the vesting. If nothing has occurred by then, it will repeat itself. So this was, and I don't know how to recharge, guys. I'm just looking using my eyes. People ask me all the time, how do you recharge? Open my eyes, look at the chart. Look for the pattern, that's it. All right, so we're going from like the high, which is like 1922, and then basically the lowest low here, 13. So that's like how much? Like a 40% drop, right? Quite quickly. So then we would go from here, well, let's say at that point, it's still stable, right? It's like extremely stable around 13. So let's say 13, 14, it's gonna pull, in this case, to 9 cents. On that vesting, and then still people were holding here, right? Because there was some hope, and then there was another leg down. So you're probably looking at near IDO price if that happens. So you heard it here first. I'm willing to be wrong, right? Because I can only win if I'm wrong in this case. But you heard it here first. I think if nothing happens, the second vesting is released, or at least the first vesting after TGE on the 13th of January. There's no additional exchange listing, no matter which listing, right? Not a Maxi quality exchange, but let's say Gate, KuCoin, Binance, what else we have? Any OKEX, doesn't matter. Anything with volume, right? New opportunities that they can move the price or at least increase the daily volume, so there's a little bit more fluctuation to the price. If that happens, or like a burn or anything significant, then yes, this project will have potential in the short term in terms of pricing. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to sell my tokens on the 12th or earlier, and I think this price will go to the IDO price of 0.05, 0.06, which basically makes the project worthless in my opinion. Then I'm no longer going to cover it on this channel. unless it starts moving up again. Very unfortunate, because obviously we all had good hopes in this project, but I'm not too negative actually, because all I'm thinking is that this SolChicks team raised so much money, right? They're sitting on so much money. If they wanted to run away with the money, they would have done that by now. They have way too many partnerships, ventures on board, people on board to make such a move, I think, in general. So I'm not worried about it at all. I know people keep saying that, like, oh, it's a rug pull, blah, blah, blah. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm just worried that the team cannot perform because of their inexperience, apparently, right? Which I believe that they can pull some things off, but they need to gain momentum. If you see how fast other projects are moving, because the crypto space is not waiting for anybody, right? They can move faster. I know they're working on like 3D NFTs, they're working on the game, but you can't let your investors wait 3 weeks without any proper update, or at least what the investors think are proper updates, right? They assigned, like, I think a different marketing lead as well. Some new people came on board, which I think is really, really interesting. So they are making very good progress for the long term. I'm not too much worried about the long term. I think on Solana especially, the game will do fine, right? You're still looking at maybe a 4 to 10x over the next 12 months. I'm just worried about the next couple of weeks for my own investment, specifically the next 2 weeks. Everything can change with a major announcement, such like a centralized exchange. That's where I'm going to leave it. 0.06 on no announcement and the second vesting being released, first vesting after TGE. I will say 0.20 on a major centralized exchange listing. Not too bullish, conservative, but still happy. Let me know what you think. Let's try to stay positive in the comments. What is your biggest dream for SolChicks? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to have a look. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.